So are we ready for today's session?
Somehow.
Somehow. And you just will be waiting. Right? Our facilitator is also here because she has also been waiting for us. And because some have not been able to join us, so we can't keep waiting. Of course, they are live and tell us that you are ready to join us. Should be on their way and you can also join us live. So I'll be reading the citation of our guest speaker today. I don't really know what topic we are reading today. What's going on? Are we not prepared for today's class? Glory, what's today's? Where now? Tell us what's today's? We are waiting for you. You know the complete topic. Miriam, what's this? Please stand on my head.
Civic responsibility, social accountability and community engagement.
So that's today's topic. Civic responsibility, social accountability, and community engagement 101. And our facilitator for today is Arafat. Can we get my hands Programs and Communication Associate, Civic High, and she is writer. She's rated as the best graduating student in the Department of Theatre and Performing Arts from Bayero University, Kano 2021, where she studied performance and audience engagement foundations that now inform her work in civic tech and communication. Arafat is also an alumna of Civic and Creative Makers Fellowship, graduating in 2023. The fellowship deepens our commitment to using creative approaches to address societal issues and further equip our with tools to build inclusive solutions. Currently serving as programs and communications associate, Arafat supports and designing and implementing programs that promotes civic awareness, education platforms, manages community and stakeholder relations, and supports grants implementation and monitoring. Our is driven by commitment to occupying the and bridging the gap between citizens and government through strategic communication, multimedia content creation, and people-centered programs, which contribute to shaping a more informed and participatory civic space in Nigeria and across West Africa. Our interdisciplinary background allows us to make creativity, advocacy, creating compelling narratives that inspire civic engagement and please let our seats. Thank you.
love about being Nigerian, what we don't like about being Nigerian, many of us, all the two is like, so they don't need to be like,
Okay, Bakari Adiola. I'm from Agege. I'm a Nigerian.
you have a nice setup of
I'm being
Nigerian.
correct. Yes, that's
So very,
yes, very. Okay, so what I love about what I love about being Nigerian is the fact that we are we are open to change. We are flexible to embracing change. I don't connect with this part of Nigeria because very yes, we are willing to invest in youth because we have this ideology tomorrow. What I don't like about being a Nigerian is the fact that we Nigerians we are not coordinated. I believe that when we if we can inculcate being coordinated in the individuals, Nigeria can become better, be it in the sphere of political aspects, social aspects, and beyond. So I love being in Nigeria because we are open to change. I don't like being in Nigeria because we are not coordinated.
so pass the mic to someone.
So, alright. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. My name is Dr. Shirabadi. Lagos Mainland. Right. Speak to what I like about being Nigeria. I think the long of it around resilience. That's to say that Nigerians are very resilient, regardless of say the economic and political conditions, right? Well, what's there not right? There's one thing I personally know, like I hate this movie. How the same that is inculcated, right, into Nigeria's school is called and education system is really great. The fact that you have to queue for a lot of things, you have to study your way through things, you can talk about getting your national passport stored and all of those kind of stuff. So that's relativism and bureaucracy is one thing I really do not enjoy because I dislike the inconvenience, I start to get very irritated, right? But there are a lot of things to like about Nigeria. One of these is that Nigerians are very resilient. And I think that's good to the nature of Nigerians in Manapur. Thank you.
Pass the mic.
Okay, we'll take that.
So, my name is Absalom Joy Olabisi. So, from Ojoko, yeah. So it's also I mean,
Okay. Just say you are
no,
After
it's after.
after.
So now, what I actually like about being in Nigeria, yes, I would like we have so no, me, I will say the truth. We have the food both from the north, from the south, and from the west. We have the food. That's one thing about like I love about being Nigerian. Why the other part is that I don't like the fact that any something happens to us, we always accept. I don't like I don't actually everybody's talking about the resilience and everything. I know actually like that part where you push it to the wall and have this come down and you're like, okay, don't worry, you just act it again. Everything that's what I don't like about Nigeria.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Miriam Kumar. One time, oh, sorry.
Yeah, so never.
One thing I like as a Nigerian or as a is the cultural aspect. We love embracing culture. Like, wherever we go, we always make a statement by embracing our culture. no matter where we are, we always know that in Nigeria is present in that particular area. And one thing I don't like about being a Nigerian is the fact that we ignore some things that are not meant to be done. And yes.
Okay, okay.
My name is Mustafa. I'm known as S1 too.
You're not allowed.
S1.
S1.
What does that mean?
It means selected. Okay. What my local government is sort of no, it's sort of ethically. Okay. So what I love about Nigeria, I love the fact that Nigeria is desert.
No, not about Nigeria. What do you think about being in Nigeria?
Okay, about being in Nigeria, okay, what I love about being in Nigeria is that I'm in a country whereby there's both human resources and natural resources. And what I don't like about being in Nigeria is that we kind of lack general integrity. Then we are also easily being manipulated and deceived.
Let's clap for Amos. Okay. We're gonna play that. Okay.
So what I like from being in Nigeria, I don't want to make anything because so one thing that I don't like is the fact that we are stamped to project. When we talk about that was in 2020, I think someone that the price is 1,000 in Nigeria. We are going to complain about that, and they didn't say we are still going to let them.
Yes.
And that's because them is very, very easy. And I think that's one thing I think. Thank you for that.
Thank you for sharing. Let's give everyone a round.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Laura Counselor. I'm from Agege. The House of Bosses. So what I love about being in Nigeria is that's our adaptability. Immediately something is not working, we look to another. Wait, no time. We look to another. And then what I don't, and then also our resilience. Our everything is going on. We still push on. Anywhere we are. Your country is bad, still I'm in Nigeria. I don't know about that. But then I think what I don't like about it is this resilience has made us used to all the problems we have. We don't see them as problems, it's now normal. Now normal. So that's
Okay, good morning everyone. I'm Seriki Rukoya. I'm from Lagos, Island. So one thing I love about being Nigerian, being African in general, is just the ability to stand out with our culture. And I also love the fact that we are resilient, we never give up, which the thing also has a disadvantage. And that's one thing I don't like about Nigerians too. The fact that we need to adapt to problems easily, we get comfortable when we are in chaos and stuff like that. So I feel like maybe it comes from being easily manipulated. So that's just one thing I don't like about
Good morning, everyone. This is Nigeria. So my name is Padma Sewande, and you can call me your event pilot. Yes. I also- so one thing I really love about being in Nigeria is we always have joy in chaos. You still see us shining all the things, doing all the memes, and we are just so happy. Like life is going well, it helps us cope through all the adversity that's going on in the country. But not love about being Nigerian is if you look at every other person out there, there's a way they perceive us. We are not identity conscious. Yes, we are not identity conscious. But like, who cares? Nobody cares. But the truth is, people out there are watching us, and that's why, to an extent, we've been banned from accessing certain
Yes.
countries. We're not able to get certain jobs. We're not able to express ourselves in certain places, and it's a very bad thing. So that's what I believe about.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ms. Ojabodo Chiamaka. My local government is Ali Osho. One thing I like about being in Nigeria is our strong entrepreneurship spirit. Nigerians are hardworking to the extent that anywhere that we go, even if it's outside the country, we will always stand that there. To the extent that they will be intimidated by our entrepreneurship spirit.
Yeah.
And another thing is this, that even when there is no opportunity for some Nigerians, they will definitely have an opportunity for themselves. And I also have to use myself as an example. Even though I graduated with a first class and I did not get a job, I have to craft out entrepreneurship skills for myself, and I've been unemployed for over many years now. So one thing I don't like about being in Nigeria, and I think, is the hardship of the country. And that is why there are so many menace that is going on in the society, because people want to survive. People want to survive, and there is no the living the what am I saying? The resources doesn't equate the population of the country. What I also don't like about the country is the corruption that is in our country, the insecurity whereby you can't even walk freely. I just read a news this morning about a nurse that was killed in front of her hostel, and the head was removed completely. Nobody knows in front of your hostel. So where is now safe? Where is now safe as a Nigerian? So another thing is, yes, the opportunity is namely based on who do you know. Even people that have worked hard for it, even people that have paid the price for it. But yes, most times it's about who are you connected to. Do you know this person? To that job, do you know this person? And a lot of people are being discouraged. Okay, so my name is Faith. That's wow. Even though education system is not because of the problem faced, we have a lot of problems. So we're able to think of solutions, how to solve using technology and even when we go out there, we're able to practicalize all people cram into done in Nigeria and then put them into action and solve actual problems. But one thing I do not like about being Nigerian is that we have resources, but we are still exporting more. We are selling out those natural resources, and then we're importing finished goods. So, I mean, yes, we know that I'm really trying to give the whole industrialization, whatever. But still, there are so many Nigerians that depend solely on what is being produced outside, and then we import it as if as a luxury. Right? So that's one thing I don't like. We have one
So yeah, good afternoon. My name is Alausa Khalid Jalabedi, and my local government is Lagos, particularly. So okay. To be specific, it will do a crime Lagos Mainland. So
You are not specific. You are not specific.
Lagos Mainland. Okay. So what I know about being in Nigeria is being in Nigeria. I don't know if you get it. For me, being in Nigeria is the feeling. Like you just feel it. You just know that this person is a Nigerian, and there is a kind of aura you get around it. So regardless of the negativity that comes with it, there's still some positive light that we can see to it. And I believe as being a Nigerian, we can work towards um, dimming the light of the negativity. So what I do not know about being a Nigerian is the average Nigerian politician. And number two, I also do not like the aspect of corruption. That is, the average Nigerian is corrupt. So that's outside being a politician. Every Nigerian is corrupt. Then the part of risk orientation that we have in Nigeria. To do that, three major things I do not like about being a Nigerian.
Okay.
Someone.
Local government, what do you like about being in Nigeria and what do you like?
My name is Samuel Joseph. Samuel Joseph from Koshofe local government. What what I don't like being in Nigeria is I think it's about resilience. I think most Nigerians are resilient, and when we meet ourselves, any country we can be, we will always stand out to be. What I don't like about being Nigerian is what he has mentioned. Is the fact that every happy Nigerian, like I would say like 70% of people have met are corrupt. And it's not something of the government. Maybe it is something of the government, maybe how it's through psychology and people start having that same thing to how in Nigeria is corrupt, and also in terms of collective working collectively to make the country good. Everybody that wants to do that, and like that's something that I don't really like about Nigeria.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So why did I start with that? Because we are talking about civic responsibility, social accountability, and community. So before we talk about those that we need to understand, I need to know if you understand what actually means. What are those things that you expected from you? What are those things I must do back? Am I obliged to do back? Like, yes, what are those things? And then you can now look at how can you think of chapter. Course after step. So you really know what you feel. You're going to watch a video, right? And you are going to bring two things out of it. The first one is so two questions. Is the person right? What has the person done wrong? And what can the person do better? I want to play the video from the beginning to start. So give it to you before you watch the video. Is this person right as a citizen? The person right, if she's right, why is she right? So we're going to keep people at random like that. The second question is what should she have done right? Exactly. If she's done right, what should she have done right? Yeah. I want you to watch the video first. I will not be the last. So I'm going to yeah. Very well. Yeah, I'll play. I'll start from the beginning. So is she right to have done it? She's right, yes, why is she right? If she's wrong, why is she wrong, right? And three, is this the best medium to do this? Like, one, two, three. So I need to start.
there.
This one you're going
So let's answer the question. Wait, go there. Don't argue now. Go there. So now back to the video. You watch it, right? So let's go to the first question. Which is you should write to have done it before.
Yes, sir. I'm going to do all this.
So I've done, so I've posted it.
Yes.
So I've spoken about I'm doing, so sure, right?
Yes.
Everybody,
I pass through Oshodi almost every time. Also, they come here, I pass through Oshodi. They have two pedestrian bridges. The first one and the second one. That place like has been blocked. Like no one is expected to pass through. So I don't know if I can go through answer, but this answer is so the bridge is still there and nothing has been done. Yeah, fine, you are free to use our social media, it is right, but then there are some things that also to pass through right media. If she is really interested in the fact that Oshodi Bridge is shaking, she made this video, the bridge is still there. So I think what she ought to have done better, what she should have done, is reaching out to the Commissioner of Transport. Writing. No, now,
yes, now,
I'm going somewhere. This same question was asked during a debate that as a youth in Nigeria, because I went there for a program. So we asked that Ekpe does not have lights for about 7 months or how many months, 9 months and more. Almost a year. What should we have done? We have been complaining. We've been complaining that there's no light in Ekpe, there's no this in Ekpe. What should we have done? We should take a step. That's why Kayode Okikiolu of Channels TV was telling us that majority of us do not even know who our ministers are. Every office holder in Nigeria and Lagos State, they are saddled with the responsibility. What she should have done then is reaching out to the commissioner for transport and all. She asked me how. They have offices. Write a letter. It might not count today. If I do it, you do it. Every one of us does it. That's one thing I don't like about Nigerians is the fact that we are so we just embrace anything that comes our way. If every citizen or every youth in LYDI and all, if we keep writing letters, one day the letter will get to the right place. So don't say how. If we keep saying why, how, without taking a step, we remain stagnant. We don't progress. We just keep.
So take one view. Let me take one.
No, sorry,
You don't agree.
Yeah,
So,
We take
Oh,
one
which one you don't agree?
now. Let's take one. So why don't you agree?
so the reason why I said what actually right is because she mentioned something. She was like, we as Nigerians, we tend to. I understand what she's trying to say. We tend to complain a lot without taking the right step. But what I feel that in this situation, she's raising awareness. Because first of all, how will she be able to, let's say in a day, we want to reach out to the commissioner, be able to raise that awareness under a day without actually posting it on social media where she can have like a wider reach. So that's why I feel like the video she made was actually right, but at the same time she's supposed to take necessary steps to reaching out to people because she's using it to raise awareness in the public.
You have two opinions. Someone says she's not right. Someone says she's right? So that answer is better. The last question is, does this stop there? Like, we're supposed to stop there, right? Like, this video, should it end there?
No.
Okay, so I want you to watch another video after that. So this happened, I'll tell you it's back on the book. So this is just a video. Are you seeing it?
It's not showing on the screen yet.
Sorry. So that video was made before the
It's okay.
this year.
Why did we just
Have you seen it?
No, like this is now.
This is not the only one.
Okay, so let me give you a background. The ocean is rich. So let me give you a background. So the ocean is rich has been shaking for years, like months, and everybody passed through there because that's why it's like a place for various things. So people come from Yanofaja, people come from Isolo, my two, people coming from Ilupeju side,
when you're coming from motion, you have to pass through that book. You felt it on shape. And for months, nobody knew anything about it. Nobody even, like, people thought that it was normal until this video went viral. And immediately, it closed that bridge that was shaking. And people reverted to using this, she's talking about the other book. And another problem arrived. It was too much. So, two problems. One problem is that there is a default in the system. Something was happening. But everybody felt like it was normal. Right? And people were passing through it was normal. Just passing, let me try to reach my destination. You get it? And someone that passed through there, I feel like this is not normal. We should not be okay with it. And from our video, she mentioned that she even went to a last one and said, like, look, this bridge. He said, it knows now. These people that are passing it, they know that they know. And they know that the bridge is shaking. But because they are cool with it. So like, no, she came back and she was like, no. I am not cool with this. I need to do something about it. And maybe she does not have access to the commissioner of transport. Maybe she does not have access to the local government or what should be. That's even a federal. So maybe she does not even know the person that she's supposed to reach out to. So she makes a video. And the video has backlash. She just started people engaged with the video, people posted the video. But 2 days after, the shaking bridge was closed as a result of that video. People were looking for, oh, wait, this girl, and everybody started using one bridge. And I thought the solution would end now. People are bring awareness. That's where it should end. No, another problem started because the bridge that they were now using now became congested because that's the only thing. Right? And two things happen, like when you look at the situation very well, it means that one, it is possible that the problem that is happening in your community, you don't even know about it, which is normal as a Nigerian because we are oblivious to so many, right? So you might not even know that something is happening in your community, but the moment somebody, one person, speaks to it or tell you about it, it becomes a responsibility for you to do something about it. So it now depends on the way we want to decide. So the minimum expectation for me is for you to do something about it. That's that. You just need to do something about it, right? The way you want to do something about it matters. It's going to be short term. It's going to be long term. But the fact that this video, whether we like it or not, it made an impact, right? But should it stop there? No, right? What are the means? What are the other means that you can use to also make awareness and talk about it? How can you even hold them accountable? And let me ask your point. That particular bridge, when we get to school, we go to check it. The particular bridge has been allocated, money has been for repairs of roads in that particular area for years. So that's a reoccurring project, but nothing has been done. So how do we know about it? How do we know about it? And that's what we're going to look at today. So as we're going to look at three things, right? We're going to look at your rights and responsibility and how to hold the government accountable. So we've already defined what does it mean? And that's why you said as a Nigerian, so it means that you're already in it. It means that you have legal rights, you have social responsibility. Now, what is your civic responsibility? And that's why the video was called to our discussion because you can be a citizen of a country and not understand what it means for you to have like a civic responsibility, right? So, part of your civic responsibility is that you need to be an activist. You need to be informed in participation, especially when it comes to public life or for the common good of people. You just need to that's not mean to stand out for a regular person that just wait and sit up, wait and see in the local government, and the person that is consciously involved in happening in that local government, right? As an active citizen, you should take responsibility for community issues, you should participate in government processes, you should demand for accountability for that. In any way, you should demand for accountability. You should also promote peace and development, and then you should give your voice to drive change. So if you are in the local government now, and even in your street, they don't know you as someone that is always that boy, like anything, just go call out. They don't we'll go on to the next one.
The slide is not showing.
Anyway, sorry. So we'll go on to the next one. Let me name it. So, okay. So now we go on to your right. So like I said, it's two things. What you give and what you get back, right? So your rights are what you have. So already in the constitution, what you take is right? What you have. As you're sitting here, you have rights, right? You have rights protected under the law. Whether you're a minor, whether you're an adult, whether you're a teenager, or you're regardless of the tribe, you have a right. Another one is right to vote and vote. It's very essential. That's why when Mr. Nesha was teaching last time, was asking how many of you are because it's important, like part of your right. You are nobody can fight you, right? It's your right to be voted for to vote. Another one is access to public service. It's your right to go to your family healthcare center and say you want to be treated. You are registered. That's the minute thing you have. They want you to register. You work for your NIM, your local government, something, to just show that exactly. So you have the right to have access to public service, right? Education, right? Just what I would like to talk about those are what I want to do that. And the last one is the right freedom of expression and participation. You have a right to participate in it. You have a right to express yourself, right? You have a right to complain. Something is not working. Your case will not be like just to appeal, but you just have a right. You just know that it's your right. You need to talk about it. And then what are your duties? What are the things that you should do as a citizen? To obey the laws, pay your taxes, obey the laws. To also protect public property. So it is your right, your duty, right? As a your duty as a citizen to protect public property, promote peace, participate in election, and most important, hold your leaders accountable. Your duty. You don't have a choice. Your duty to hold the leaders accountable. How you want to do it now depends on you, but yeah, it is your duty. So we are going to go to social accountability. What does it mean? What is social accountability? When is social accountability? Right? Simply put, how you know part of your duty is to hold leaders accountable. Now, social accountability is the ability for you as citizens to demand for accountability, transparency, responsiveness. So it's one thing for them to respond to you, right? It's one thing for them to be accountable to whatever project money that they're doing. It's one thing for them to be transparent about their spending. It's another thing for them to be there. So the most important thing to me is that even if I cannot hold you accountable that you're spending, you have to respond to me because I'm a citizen, my rights. And part of social accountability is the ability for you have to demand for it, right? Trust me, there are many things that the local government can really want to do. They want you to be obedient, not to even talk about your governor, then now there are many things that elected officials they don't want you to know because they know once you know that one thing, you need to hold them. And that's why you need to admit that they are here for. Examples of how you can demand for accountability. We have tracking of expensive projects, demanding for explanation of abandoned projects, community advocacy campaign, election monitoring, and executive reporting. Those are like examples. But we'll go on to issues, right? Now, this is where we will focus on. So there are, like I said, there are many means in which you can use to hold your government accountable, right? But also, there are also means in which you should engage as a citizen, as a community member in the local government channel. How many of us have ever attended
Yeah.
So we went for the gospel school today, all those things. Yeah, so yeah, we are trying, yeah. There are many. So how many of us, aside how many of us have ever attended a community town meeting? None. One. How was it? Were there old people there? Just old people. How many? How many talking about? APC community struggle. Okay. How many of us have ever sat down to look at how much America is? You how did you do that?
Actually, I don't know all this week. So someone like the other class and was saying that check how much is going to be covered. So I asked them, so how much is it? How much is it?
Okay. We'll do that. We'll do that. So be prepared. How many of you have ever? How many of you know about an FOI letter? FOI letter. It's called freedom of information. You don't know about it, right? Wow. How many of you have ever participated in an advocacy campaign? Okay. Cool. Yeah. Cool. So it means that we just go through this one by one. The first one is town meeting. Town meeting is like that, for those of us that don't know. Yeah, you see that they will say, Monday or Sunday or first week, that everybody will come and knock on your door, landlord, come outside. But it's not only for landlords, not only for people. You're also entitled to attend those meetings, right? It's where you as citizens come together to come and talk about the problem. What don't you have in your community? What do you have in your community? What needs to change? Someone like a friend that don't have life. So most of our like if na normal things, right? It's supposed to have created like someone is like you just be talking about the how can we solve those kind of stuff.
I'm thinking the question for you. Yeah, the first 2 years. Yes.
Can you
What
imagine?
about 5 million? Not that much. Maybe 2 more than that.
Wow.
He said the school wide and my beloved was like the company I was thinking. Yeah, second. Sometimes you have to leave at work to go and meet school officials that lights, we have lights now. Because she has a solar.
Yeah.
She wants to commit to have lights. They did everything, they bought new transformer, and still yet, see, I left that school.
Right.
So it's not that they are not speaking up. Speaking up, but since the whole chairman or whatever, they're not doing anything.
Okay. So it means that she knows about town meeting. So it means that town meeting might not even be sufficient for you to get the change. But it is important for you to come together and talk about it collectively. So that's what I see town hall meeting as. I don't see town hall meeting as for us to come and solve the problem. No. Let us come and talk about it so that we know that the problem I'm having, we're also facing it. Right? And collectively we can make a decision of what we want to do. So town hall meetings are very important because, like I said, many of us don't even know about this taking people to social. And you go socially tomorrow, you just see that one week is closed. You don't understand why. You don't know why, just like they want to add a like the great minimum is for you to write that they didn't write caution sign, it's just a very exactly. So just exactly. And that was because somebody said it there wrong. So imagine that somebody did not that's how the passing day. Until one day the people now pulled out and said 99 people died. Out of 99, 20 people are in the hospital. That's when they will now wake up, yeah. So we don't always have to get to that, right? How we can like the first initial stage of class. Let's talk about this. Okay. In my community, there's no incentive for you. You don't have to be anything. You don't have to story out the job. And I want to talk about it. I want to be career. I can gather you from different streets. And say, okay, let's come on. It can even be in form of like let's say most come out people, let's come play one. Then after the let's come and talk about why did our youth are not moving forward in this way? Right? Why did that for the last decade? Notice somebody that how many years ago is always the chairman? Why? Why? Why is that? That not be participatory? Why? The other one is participatory budgeting. That citizens can also decide on what your community should spend on or project the priorities. The local government chairman, there's some street that you might not even have gone till when you become local government chairman. It also be then I knew that. I don't know if you know this street in the town. There's one street like that. Before you get to the airport, there's a street like for last time, there's a canal. I'm in my mind of going because everything is in Church Street. So the day I knew this that there are trenches now, like every trenches. Like you get what you're talking about. If you go to that place, the house level is like this, the canal is like this. So now they are going through it when it's falling. And the local government chairman does not see it as a priority because somebody has come and tell him that it's a priority for them. He might not even have gotten there before. Do you get? Right? You need to take it to that school. And there's one Western something school. Something like that. At Brown, West, that's where all of them used. That's where they used to go. Exactly. So that's why I know that they used to pass exactly. So you need to also participate in projecting what your local government should focus on. What should they decide? What are the things that they should come and what are the things that they should count as priorities? And why should it be priorities? Right? Why should it be priorities? What are those things that they should not be priorities? The third one is the FOI. You see, FOI is like a magic one. It's a letter that is sent to ministries or agencies for you to demand for a particular information. So, for example, the most recent one being the FOI. We were trying to get the election results from 2023. So, all the results of 2023, right, it's not supposed to be the time. It's the time in the So, we're trying to get the results, and they're supposed to have uploaded it on portal, but we don't have access to it. So, it means all people that voted is going to be. There's no, there are some states that have, some states that do not. So, what we did was we write an extra, we 29 years, extra denying it, they responded and said, no, not supposed to send it to us after like 3 times of sending the extra, or 4 times of sending the extra like back to back. We need to get the call. We didn't know the kindness last day. No need to end. But so we have them document the results and the final, the most recent explanation is that no, look, we don't have the results. I thought that what you now do is supposed to each state and demand for.
Hey, was there even an election?
Well, you have the president now, and they calculated the results and gave it to you and announced it. So there's no evidence. So we now we did that. I think we are still doing that. So we have to we went to each state because they went there and they now finally responded. Now they are responding. Some of the states said we have to come with our own copy machines. Yeah. Exactly. Another state said, oh, the work already. All these responses are bad, right? But the major thing I want you to bring up for me is that it is mandated by the law that once you send an FOI letter requesting for a particular information, you must get a response. And if you don't get a response within 7 days, they are liable to court. In fact, the person that did not even give you that information will go to court. That's how powerful that is, and you don't know about it. So it means that if there's a particular information you're trying to get, maybe you're trying to ask. Let me understand something. You see that in the Ministry of Education in Lagos, there's no percentage that is given to
We use
So you use the slums, thank you. Your street
Yeah, you have so that like but that one is the one you know work, the other one will work.
some will not work. So what it means that you have a particular information that you are trying to add. You want to if you try one out, if you have a particular so now you're not going to Ministry of Work, ASAL, or Ministry of Road, or you want to no, you must first go to your research. Who is in charge of this thing? Is this through the federal? If it's yes, if it is state, if it is local government, if it is state, if you not get okay, yes, fine. Who is the agency in charge? What agency is in charge? Because there's everything a FY letter to that agency. Because at the end of the day, those are the things that they will use to track you. So this is not this sector is not for us now. Take it to this. We now take the letter. This sector is not even for us. Your data is in the wrong place. You're not using them to delay you. You say after something no. You need to make one research. And they also understand the kind of information you're trying. Is it a public information? You understand before you can then write the letter. But all information should be public because we're in Nigeria, that is why information are not public. Petition and advocacy are things. Like something like what this girl is doing. Advocacy. How can you use your platform as you have now to talk about things that happen in your community? Trust me, if I also do an advocacy campaign for 30 days, say Lagos State alone, and so they 200. Like I will create a 200 days program. So aside, you need big budget, you don't need 1 million straight. That's why it's very, very important, right? You might not have transport for you to dispatch your wife or I don't have transport. You need to maybe 100 MB data. You want to use your 100 MB data well. You will use it well with the right information, with the right ability. What you just need to do is to have the right information. So I go to Corona. And I want to understand, I don't think there are much, they used to be like a drainage problem in Kogi. So many times, those are bricks that used to be very flooded, like even be out of there. You need to be like, and then if I now decide that, oh, I don't talk about this, oh, even that one is even, it's far rich. What's happening in my community? That's what I want to, when we get the chance. What's happening? We children, kids, me now, one of the things I'm recently coming about, because I'm back to them, and I'm realizing that it's 2014, 2013, those years. But now, this morning, students were still, some people were even still at home, like they are not going to school, it's raining. That's how bad the education system is. They are not motivated. Maths and English as well. Why? How are we? So that's in recent times. That's one thing I'm not involved. Healthcare, like it can be healthcare that wait. Why is it that in a household, in a month, do your research? Why is it that in a household, in a month, somebody must have malaria? Why? In your street, like don't they'll say that malaria don't shit. Why? Like why? Is there no any other cure? Is there no cure for malaria? Why? Some of us, another problem is your own problem might be that way. Why is it that every Sunday I go to church, nobody must have a phone? Why? Is it normal? It's a follow. The thing is normal to you, follow. Everybody is normal to you. Is that really normal? So that might be your own problem. As little as funny as it might be, just want to create awareness about something related to health. And then you are not trying to go and focus campaign around strategize. What is the problem? Now, what is the solution? Now, what are the people I need to talk to for me to get this solution? How do I go about it? You don't need as least 50,000 you don't need 50,000 for you to do this thing. All you need is access to the information. All you need is to know as you supposed to be your passion for driving that change. It has worked over the years. Over a discipline and work. It's not juju. You don't need to know anybody. I trust me, this when you use technology to technological can be code, it can be AI, as AI, it can be when you use a technological tool to solve a problem in your community that facing. So I want us to look at today is budget. I want us to go to our phone and type into my screen. Need of budget of need of budget of right? Are we there? So I have an email address, but I want us to we can sign up. Need of budget of are you there? Let me go. Are we there? So let's sign up. Your email address, your password, whatever you like. Me, I'll sign in. BUDGIT. Yes. BUDGIT. Not yet. Have you signed up? Let me see. Okay, yeah, okay. You see the local government. You see? I'm going to sign in too. So I'll be on the same page. Okay, we are there. Oh, yeah, Papa. So because I'm originally from Australia. So this is where we're going to look at the money right now. Right? So see, like I said, what are civic tech platforms? One out. What are civic tech platforms? Like I said, it's a platform that is used to solve a problem in your community. It is used to solve a problem. So this particular platform needs a body to use to look at what has been allocated from the federal government to your community. I'm originally from Australia, that's why Australia is here. So let us move to Lagos State. Lagos State. We're going to go to Lagos State. Right? So which person local government should we look at? Agege. So in Agege local government. No. Wait now. Now this is the dashboard. In Agege local government, as of March 2023, the total money that is coming to your somebody should read this money.
This
Sorry, 2 billion. Sorry, I'm
1 million, 496,000.
That is the money that is coming to your local government.
2 billion.
Out of this 2 billion, the cumulative report is 12 billion, and then the federal allocation is 6, right?
Yeah.
So now, out of it, yeah, it's not clear, my sister. So there is an overview when you see. So I just want to collecting 10. So this allocation is depending on what your community is doing. I need to show 10 trillion. So shop fair, that's the money this one. That's how you should aspire. Yeah, also aspire. One out. So this is the federal government give a total allocation of 5 trillion. Okay. So we have Agege, February, March. It goes. You know that each month. This is just for you to be aware that there is money. One out. This is one out. Is it enough for you to know that there is money? Is it enough?
No.
You need to know where your money is going to. So now let us look at the particular project go and give it to Dangote. They'll go and give it to let's say Shakiru Cement. How can Shakiru Cement give you solar? That's why you know that there's comma, you get so to track agency sometimes there's no interrelation between the project and the agency that is exactly. Let's look at another one. We have talked about it. Oh yeah, I'll take a look at it. I'm not sure there's a lot of things happening. For example, they said rehabilitation and soft punishment of Adewale is over or shrunk in the Ministry of Labor. Wow. Okay. And it's a new project that they're going to start it. The ongoing project is construction of road drainages and solar street. This solar street is Yapa in this project. Like every local government want to create solar. Solar streets. Meanwhile, you don't have light. No, okay. Meanwhile, you have advanced drainage system. Solar street lights being fed low animation, and the person in charge is Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. Letter to who? The Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. So my letter will be addressed to. I'll show you a sample of an equal. I should have that. None of them have. But it should address to the Federal Ministry of Housing and requesting that a particular project that is the federal project of 2025 on green unity, I want to ask about the progress, right? Has it been constructed? If yes, can I get pictorial evidence of it? Or you go there yourself and check it. You know, the local government, it's your responsibility to now. But you want to look at it and say it's not your business. It's still be here. That's why we have this model going for 99 years. Still be here. There are a lot of buildings. There are a lot of your communities that one you don't know about. Two, the one that you don't know about, you don't even know if the right money is there. Like if they're giving them money to do it. What is the problem? You don't know. What is the problem before? You don't know because you're not even aware of this project before. Right? So this is a platform. Here you can easily check that, you can easily track that. This should be your Bible and your Quran citizen. Right? They say supply, look at this one, they say they want to supply Marwa worth 50 million naira to Ali Mosho. It's still ongoing. Stagnation supply. So they're still going to be some still maybe you even give birth and they'll still continue to be supplying. Look at how much is allocated. Now, who is in charge of that money? That's what you want to know. Who is in charge? And the civic tech platform that you can know is called Shine Your Eye on All. Created by LYDI. Check it. Check it. Oh, look, money has been allocated. So it gives you an update of it. For those of us that use like Lagos, right? I may not really get an update because I use it. So, but I live in Lagos. Now we're going to look at Shine Your Eye. When you go to Shine Your Eye, you can look at elected officials. I want to know people that are elected for positions in the local government. Oh, look at yeah, look at so yeah, you see people, you see Alia, it's like oh God. Sorry about that. Are you Shine Your Eye? So I've come to elected officials. And I've seen states where I work, Lagos State. And the court did that in Lagos State was still imagine someone who is the governor, right? I want the one that will show me everything. If the way tells you the local government, it gives you that if I need to go to Senator, chairman in the local government house chairman, right? You know, in Lagos State, we have 20 local government and 37 LCDs. What's the difference? LGA and LCDA.
Yeah, the LCD is just like a subsidiary of the probably. It's supposed to be 20, just like we have like on Lagos State has we have a larger Lagos State, we have should I say, when it comes to population, we are much so they decide to like share the local government into subsidiary. Taking the local government as an example, we have SDA like 4 or 5, Imota, Ikorodu North, Ikorodu West, and then one other one, plus the Ikorodu Central. So I felt that due to the population, that's why it is divided into different.
Okay, fair.
So, local government is actually the recognized structure from the federal government. So LCD, we're doing sometimes I want to ensure that we have more local governments. It was not so instead of that, it was now divided to LCDs, and which is not legally recognized by the federal government.
See, problem in this country is too much. Part of it is that everybody wants to share have something to chop. The local government chairman, or the local government are the ones that are recognized, like you said, in the constitution, they are recognized. In the federal area, they are recognized. Money goes to local government from the federal directly. But because states like Lagos and also those are states, they are very complicated and they are several controversies. Look, I'm not into that another reason, there are so many people that they feel like they are too much no efficiency. So Lagos State now decided that they want to create LCDA, right? So the LCDA are 37, LGA are 20. So money from local government, money from federal does not go to the LCDA. So how is the LCDA funded? The money that the local government now have will not come to the local government, they will not come and distribute it that you are the second wife, third wife, fourth wife, they are you get. So the way it works is that when a project is allocated to or when money is used to the local government. You see how many people that will be queued to collect that so now something so you're saying that something should not be in your account. Divide that trillion by then how many
Billions.
if you not it's too much back
It's too much.
before per month.
It's too much too. 1 billion is too much.
So you need to know how the structure is, right? So like I said, the local government chairperson are not responsible for delivering a broad range of services in relation to roads, traffic, economic and community development, environment, recreation and amenity services. Okay, your government might not have to do all of it. That's why they don't have. So each of them are there. So each of them are there. You see their picture. If you don't click on it, you give you their phone number.
Their direct contact.
Yes, ma'am. Their email is even there. You have to have access to all of these things now. Then you have to go to state level. Some of you don't understand who you're representing you at state level. That's why there's money that won't go for. I'm against it. So we have 40 state assembly members. So we have 2 from each local government. This is the report when you have the spend 1 and spend 2. These are the things, these are the local. So if you're looking for any, you've seen here, you're looking for any information, all you need to do is just click on it. And then it's click. Now let's now go to your senator, right? The senators are the ones that represent the three. You know, because they have Lagos Central, Lagos Central. So from each of these places, the senator will be picked that will now represent the federal. And then we have federal house of representatives. These are the ones that make law. We have so this class will give you now demand? How do you report? For example, you want to take action now. How do you? These are the people that can even help you to a large extent amplify your voice. Send that FOI letter, draft the FOI letter. They haven't ended. They also complete like reports and all of those stuff. I think I can log in on this page. I'm not sure. Sorry. Once it's logged. Okay. I don't think I can log in, but you can register to monitor programs directly. But I'm more particular about the government. So every year, tracker reports what's called tracking report. So they also have to track those projects. And each of these reports you can use to check what is happening in local government in your state. So they have for each state, they have Lagos, Jigawa State, Semester State. Let's take it. So there are various things about water, I don't talk about health, road, education, power. Some selected state capital projects of your national state. Let's download it. So we're looking for control fine, we're looking for Ali motion. I don't like it. Okay, so I'm looking for Ali motion. Right? So it gives you the project code. It gives you the title of the project. I want to track the project. And it tells you what the project is. This is 2024. Gives you the. So they said they want to give training and empowerment of youth. I know youth. In mobile phone repair, they want to teach you how to repair phone. In Ali Moshock Federal Constituency. And the amount that is allocated to this is 24 million naira. This is 24. And the agency in charge is Center for Monitoring Development. Under which, I don't know, who is from Ali Moshock? So if you want to know about a particular project that is happening, you can easily do this. It's not signing user. It is in nature. Try login. So for example, it also have a place where you can directly report, and that's why I like to track that. So what if I just tell you, when you're not really want to, so for example, if a particular was in platform, you can easily take a picture of it. You can easily take a picture of that and report. Once you log in, yeah, this is that. Yeah. So you just need to register to get it. Okay. And they also give you updates. So for example, depending on the state, for Katsina State, they are very tracker.ng. So do you know what this platform do now? Do you know what we can use this platform for? So the last one is the one that is in-house. So live results or activity. I put this here because election is coming, right? And you might want to get like our own. You might want to get like updates about for those of us that will definitely vote. Election, if you want to check updates on what's happening. Everything here is from the last election session. So for example, I want to check interactive about each sector. Let's look in the active map. So this one, you can see all the for this is all the so if I need to come to Lagos State, right? And you click on it, it tells you ABCD sum. So this is like particular a new something that we're trying to start is like you should be able to tell us what's happening in your own sort of thing. Okay, so those are all the platforms. Do we have any questions on this platform? Check me your body, check shine your eye, tracker, then the life video like 3 times. So let's go back to our slide. Now, what are the big challenges? Yeah, life because of different life because of different. So do we have questions?
Can you speak louder?
If you have a question is if you have this kind of civic tech platform, why do I still need to write an FY letter to get information about it? So the civic tech platform has to amplify your voice. So for example, they have to give you information. In the FY letter, you have to be specific about your ask. What you want, exactly, you cannot write an FY letter and you need all these people about Lagos State. Nobody wants that because there are various agencies in charge of that. So for you to be particular about your request, you need the civic tech platform to narrow it down. For example, I want to know without education, without growth, I want to talk about sustainable environment. But let's look at the environment. I want to know how much is allocated to my local government as regards environmental issues, solar, drainage, waste management, like how much is allocated. All I need to do is go to government and look at my local government and type my local government history and then you now search to look at this commission because which of the project is ongoing. Because it's the ongoing that you used to know that they started quickly. So usually when you put ongoing, it means that it is working. New one might mean that it's a projecting, it's still in that disbursement stage. They may not really have disbursement, but it's a project that will happen. It's already in the federal government budget. It will happen. But ongoing means it's already happening. Some of the ongoing might have even be as fast as 2021. Do you get? Because they believe that it's a continuous project. You now come out to say that, okay, between that time that the project started and now, what are the major changes that happened? Nothing. So now I want to ask the agency that come, how much has been discussed to you by the federal government for you to this particular project? How many years does this project take naturally? Like how many years should you have finished it? How many years are you now in point? Why is there no significant changes from that project? That is why I will now, because I already have my information and I'm directing it to the right ministry. I'll now write to my letter as the ministry. And the ministry has how many days for them to respond to me and give me what I want. Now, you are confused. And you also, they refuse to give you. You send a reminder after 7 days. They still refuse and they have them now say, now look at, should I go support? Do I have to go support? Or should I use another tool? You know, there are various tools. And then I might not decide to wait how long it is. Look for my mom, my daddy, everybody in the control. This is what I found out. Look at the mention about this money. Or this ministry or agency collected this money. Supposed to have done this now, but they've not done it. I've said, but you're already taking action. So I have to now call together. I've already sent an equal letter to they've not responded. What do we collectively do? challenges that we have as citizens is that we don't trust. One of the major issues that we have as citizens is we don't trust, and that's why tools like this exist. We don't trust that it is we don't trust that it's possible for you to call out the situation and then they will give you what you want. We don't trust that you send an email that they are going to come because we don't trust that we might think that it's normal for you to just sit back and not do anything. So we need to trust that the institution will work. Even if they will fall your hands 1 million times, you just need to trust that it will work. Right? The second one that we have is political attack. Some people say politics don't concern me. Like, yes, it concerns me like mad. Like mad. Like, look at the example that we gave as regards funding and tracking your project. Majority of these things are very political. The reason why a lot of government is 1000% political. So the moment you think that you don't want to get involved, or you don't want to track a project, or you don't want to do something about it, you have asked, that's what they want. You get so political apathy is one of those people. Youth don't. They don't care, they don't want to be involved. Right? And that's why programs like this, programs like LYDI, programs like this exist to make you informed. So some of you trust me, don't. There are many people in your area, youth like you, that are not opportunities. And trust me, they don't know about this platform. Yes or yes? Yes. So it is now your responsibility to go back and inform them. Inform them that look, as my needs are this, you can do something about it. Another challenge is the economic, the economic is trust me, the economic action that is happening in this country is a result of corruption. 99% of it. It's not that we don't have resources. We do have resources, but because the institution has been asked for us not to engage there, or there is no transparency as to spending, that's why. Another issue is intimidation. People think that, oh, young people think that there are many things, there are negatives for you to be involved, right? But the thing is that if you engage your elected officials with the right information, the person will even be fearing that, this guy, oh, no, he knows what's up. Like, for example, you are going to meet your top official in a conversation, say your opportunity, like, oh, many people so, and things development, like, oh, yeah, what did you do? Like, I'm just a student, I want to ask a question, and then you're going to be put in a position that I look at the development project and the latest of the government, I saw that, oh, this is done. So how did you know? How do you know this one? I think, no, it's there, it's a public information. Like, check it, and I said, oh, this is not in the latest of the government. Out of this, how many percentage of this is coming back to you? You already come from a place of information. You cannot be intimidated if you have the right information. But if you don't know anything, that's when you will be scared that, this person should come and give you one law that says there's no law in this country. Another challenge is limited civic education. Like I said, there are youth in your community that don't have access to civic. LYDI cannot be everywhere. Civic life cannot be everywhere. That's why it's expected that you are ambassadors that will go back to the community and do these things in a big way, right? And the most biggest challenge is the life data. Not that we are not angry about the situation, not that we don't want change, but we don't just have access to it, right? We don't just have access to it. So as much as possible, we need to use for us, we need to come together and demand for this access as young people, right? So that we will not be left behind. So, next on my slide, we talk about situation between, and then we have some other conversations. Cities and different local government. Yes. We have, but in a team, there are people that compete in local government.
No, the thing is just like he has governor.
Okay. So we have an assignment, and Toby, hi, how do we go about this assignment? Do we do the group thing or do we do the group thing? But we also want it to be as much as possible to be individual stuff because they are various local governments, right?
Yeah.
But I know that there are some people that are in the same local government, but you're not in the same street. So you're going to use your local government or your community. So you either use your local government at large or your community as a case. And what you are going to do is you are going to identify one governance or structural issue affecting your area. Whether it's rights, whether it's waste management, whether it is the fact that Norma is supposed to come on a particular day and they don't come. This is a problem. Yeah, a problem. And then you pay every month. So you will recognize that. So there is an hierarchy of priority. The most pressing issue, that is affecting your community, you recognize it. And then out of those advocacy tools that we mentioned, you will pick one civic engagement tool to address it. Either you are going to do whatever you do, and then you are going to in just one page paper, right? In just one page, you are going to write a community action plan. So the action plan will have what you want to do, how you are going to do it, and the duration one. And when you submit this, you will now select people that own their own is defined. They will work on it. Make sure that issue to a large extent. They are advocacy, they are everywhere that are signed up to that particular issue. Right? So yeah, one page. So what should be there, right? The problem, what is the tool that you will use to counter this problem, right? How do you want to go about it? And then the duration. So that you also need to write the duration. This is the duration. The duration. The problem, why is it a problem? This is understand why is it a problem. So you are how many? So like 40. You send it to my email and then check it and you take on 5 person one.
I know, you mean that.
Yeah, the person issue. What do you mean as that? One week enough for you to submit the paper. That's 2 months now. You might not solve the issue. Wait, so you're sending it
1 month.
when? Next 2 weeks. What's the date? 2 weeks. Yeah, so after that, the week after that.
Yes.
What's that date?
Speak out of our that will be what I
This is June 12.
Yeah.
I want us to do something before June 12. Because I want us to do something about
June 10.
June 10.
Yes.
Let me just tell you before 12.
Your birthday.
Let's do June 10. We will work. June 10. So you have to submit 1 page. What are you? It will be let you know.
Can we add more like a short video or
We will get there. Yes, we get there. You can add it though. If you want to sell your market, it's just part of selecting, remember. Anything to sell your market, add it to it. You can attach a video, you can attach a picture. You're sending it to Arafat, you don't take them ARAFAT. Let me go there. Send it to Arafat and maybe so we'll take on 5 Arafat as yeah, so you're going to try to use LYDI onto something. I want to project it. Okay, yeah, I have a civic eye. Oh, I have a civic eye. Dot org. Have you seen it? Send it. Okay. Okay. So just type in LYDI project. LYDI project. Yeah. Are we going to go? Okay. And we've come to the end of the class. I'll take questions. Any questions at all? Hi. Okay, one. Okay, okay. 1 minute. Before your question, let's look at one. I want to show you the one that I've shown that has sound. Yeah. So I'll show you the top one. So let's take your question while we are waiting for that.
Okay, I believe we really have, let's say we have freedom of speech or freedom of getting all this information, especially even comforting government. But I mean, like, we have, yeah, that's one point. We have a problem with freedom of privacy. After the extension, after the confrontation. So, like, how do we go about it? Because actually, if it is even something out there, I want to confirm, I want to ensure that there is a change in the government. So, people that are behind not having that change, is me as an enemy. How do we do it?
So the best approach because they want you to cause problems. They want you to cause problems so that you don't get the answer to what you want. They want you to cause problems. But because they know that in this our life, there are ways to do it. You can be diplomatic, you can go ahead. Depending on depending on how you want to go about it. The best approach that we do, but we also don't pass through it because we go ahead. The best approach that we do is to negotiate with them, to talk to them about it before you now go about. But in most cases, that fall out is not work, right? So be diplomatic about it. As really have having access to information, have that information that you want to. And again, you now call them around it like that. I see that I'm concerned. And don't go alone. Like, don't do it alone. That's why you need to go together. I'm representing my local government. as a whole, imagine you are I'm taking my government as a whole. Come and tell you that I don't know, you're not doing the right thing. Not that you're not going to say, Papa, no, you're not going to eat as one thing. You're going as a collective. Say, look, I'm doing the government. Youth of the government say that we are not having enough. There's no development for the young people. And we've seen that in your class, in your manifesto, you hope that you don't have to do your bother down. But this can government, it was 50 manifesto. So you're saying, I don't say manifesto, you see, you ask class to your and the community, the money that is invested what's the projection for them? You want to know, just honestly, you just honestly, you just want to know why. And then you're talking to them internationally, and then they come and tell you. It depends on how they respond. So people say, yes, we are trying, we are doing, we are trying, we are doing everything around by. So people will tell you, who are you to ask this kind of question? They're not even in the place. Why do you think you have the audacity? Someone asked me, you know that this particular person, you don't need to know his work. Then, after you've done that, you have the information, you have the feedback. You get that point, like I said, that we use all out. Then you now go like social media, which is the best thing. You don't need to. You're not going to social media platform. Say, 99 days. Look at it, 99 days of calling my government chairman out with evidence. You already get evidence in one data. And then they want to let it carefully. And then they want evidence of problem of good fact. You have to data. Remember that you're engaging with data. In this year of this person being of this won't change.
Excuse me, for someone to do such, do you think the person needs probably a spiritual backup? You facing your chairman like that before they go and find you, they will feel challenged.
Exactly. Because you've got
wait.
Before you sleep and not wake up again, you say that is
remember that this approach is because economically it has not worked, right? That's why you are resulting. Because you spoke to them as a concerned citizen, but it did not work. That's why you are going through this round. You don't even need to do it yourself. Like organization like we pick up the fight for we tracker. All you need to do is to report on tracker. But because you want to see three that you can take up the challenge and then still write tracker for and then the first day you're talking about the so yes, this is the money that I've projected, nothing. This is how people are suffering, yada 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 yada. We push that, and then we not put evidence that as one and then people actually did you reach out to your lawyer? Rather than check, did you reach out to yes, I have. This is the evidence. But then you have to document you too. You can't be going to the government and not carrying something that you to document. No, you will document everything out. You went to meeting first time, second time, third time, this was it. So now this is what we are resulting to be. Honorable please respond to us. Why is why is that this particular thing is not happening? Promise me you will see. You have worked. This is not magic. You will see response. You will see response. And at that period in time, your own win can just be the response. That can be the win for you. Not really to drive change. To like that thing should effect. It might not be an it may not be an immediate thing that can change. But because you drive awareness about it, something will happen. Because you put it that response. The response is that the person is committing that I will do something about it.
The question is about the assignment.
Yes.
What is the issue? Must it be an issue? Maybe by the time you come back,
they've stopped it. But it's not really changed. It does not matter. So why is that issue? They are affecting.
Yeah, what I'm saying, this issue is about policemen are just coming. I think
When did you say? Ah.
We've just come out with
I know. That's the problem now.
I didn't see it, but I think they need
Something like priority to me. But I will be the one to decide on the fact. But present your best. Present the issues that is directly affecting. Some of you might even get to for the next month on that issue. And that might be your issue, just having a voice. Okay. Maybe an opportunity for you.
So my own is according to what you just explained at the beginning, it's just like now, like me, exactly the way that someone like me feeling.
There's a problem.
I
So these are some ways to make you know.
So which means automatically now, I am telling you that I must have backing kind of
How will you do it?
youth, like all the youth in my community.
How will you do it now? So far you get issue and if they affect you. If they affect you, that means affecting you.
Yes. So like now, it shows that I want. I use a language.
If they are failures too, don't forget they are failures. The one that you can use all, you can use one, and you get your result. You can use combination of 1, 2, depending on what you think will work for you. And that's what you're putting in your assignment. What do you think will work for you? Because we're going to, that's what we're going to try. That tool that you're that's what we're going to try.
Apart from that,
Yes, some people like it.
F4 high and this it was that this is actually
What about it's just like the way you do.
But they don't come.
The way you do in school,
They don't come.
SCG.
Talk to you,
then we discuss it. That one is better.
It's not better, it's what you do. What you do.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Something like that.
No, you can't wait.
want to drag
Obviously, it can also be a for me, I don't like that because it's as if I want to come and change something. No. Now you will come to us first. Maybe now our community. So let us agree community one day.
You're not going to use it to do election.
Exactly. But that Look at the normal letter. See, it's directed to particular image.
Okay, this is all right.
Yes.
What to ask? The FY, also, if you are just
Ministry of it is that ministry that I write things to. Because the ministry is in charge. But it is not like that. This project, how two copies. One copy is